and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Jessica, and today I thought it would be fun to do something a little bit different on my channel. Now, if you've been here for a while, or if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I typically do vlogs, like week in my life vlogs or a few days in my life. But for today, I figured we could switch it up a little bit, and it's still gonna be a vlog, but it's gonna be more of a day into my life, be a little more detailed with some timestamps, just so you can see a little bit more of what I get up to on a day-to-day basis. Now, obviously, every day is not always the same. Some days are busier than others when it comes to work, but this is kind of a typical day in my life. So it is currently a little after 7:10-ish, and I'm in the car getting ready to head to work. I've already looked at maps, and it's going to take me about an hour to get there because there's a couple accidents and things like that. So I do need to get on the road and get driving, but I figured I would at least get the vlog started and say good morning while I wait for the car to warm up because it's pretty chilly this morning. So yeah, I am going to head to work, get some coffee going, get started with my day. But before we continue on with the vlog, if you like what you see, if you could consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate it, and give the vlog a like if you enjoy it, and let me know if you want to see more day in my life videos, a little more detail with what I get up to on a day-to-day basis. But let's get into it. After 4:30, I'm getting ready to head home. It was a pretty typical day. Had some invoices to take care of, some trainings to do. Typical Wednesday things for me. So honestly, not too bad of a day. I already looked, and it's gonna take me a little over an hour to get home. So I'm just gonna get on the road, get started with my drive. I'm not sure what we're gonna do tonight for dinner. I was kind of thinking maybe we would go out. We'll see what Ryan's feeling. We can always find something at home because we have plenty of stuff. So we'll see what he wants to do when we get home. But yeah, I don't want to yap since it's going to take me a while to get home. So I'm just going to get on the road and just listen to some music and just vibe while in traffic. And I will catch you later. It's 10:15. I'm getting ready to head to bed, doing my skincare. I already washed my face, brushed my teeth, so now it's just time to do my skincare routine, which is pretty much the same. I'm still using the Pixi toner like every other day. My skin has been kind of going through it, especially since it's getting a little bit colder. So I've kind of cut back, and I'm only using this every other day instead of every day like I was in the summertime. It was a pretty typical evening. Still using my Summer Fridays Light Aura Vitamin C Eye Cream. I do, as you saw this morning, sometimes use this in the morning as well. I have noticed, I think it's because I'm not sleeping as much each night, that I am starting to get a little bit of darkness under my eyes. So I'm using this in the morning as well as in the evening, just to kind of help brighten under my eyes. And I'm back to using my Fresh Rose Deep Hydration Face Cream. I used to use this a few years back, and I don't know why I stopped using it, but when I was at Sephora getting some more perfume because I ran out of my black opium, I kind of was walking around the skincare and I saw Fresh, and I was like, you know, I haven't used this in a while. And again, I don't know why I stopped using it, but I was reminded that I really loved using it when I did, so I decided to pick it up. I think I've said before, but if I haven't, I kind of prefer spending my money on skincare over makeup, just because your makeup looks better if your skin is prepped better. So skincare and like a primer if you use it. So I would rather spend a little bit more money on my skincare and the products that I'm putting on before my makeup and like in the evening before I fall asleep than on my makeup. That's just me. Everyone is different, obviously. But anyways, I'm getting ready to head to bed. Ryan and I obviously went to dinner. We got some sushi. We did walk around Costco a little bit beforehand. I didn't really get any clips because we were kind of just like browsing and seeing what there was and kind of just walking around. But it was a pretty chill evening. Not pretty typical because we don't always go out to dinner, obviously, but it was a nice evening to get out and just kind of hang out, just the two of us, even though it's just the two of us majority of the time, besides the cats. I will say that the last couple weeks I have been really bad about going to bed early. Any semblance of a nighttime or after work routine that I had has kind of gone out the window, and I think that is partly to do with the time change, but I think I'm just kind of maybe mentally going through it. I have been very bad about getting on the computer earlier in the week. I would love to get on the computer a little bit tonight and do some editing, working on this week's YouTube video, but that obviously didn't happen. But the last like month or so, I haven't been getting on the computer and starting editing until like Thursday, even like Friday. So I've just been going through it, and like I said, any semblance of a routine, and I use that word lightly because I didn't really have a routine, but any routine that I did have is kind of just gone out the window. So I do want to work on my nighttime routine and get back into it, and hopefully start getting to bed a little bit earlier, because I can definitely tell I'm struggling a little bit, especially in the mornings getting out of bed, because for the last couple weeks I have been falling asleep pretty late, like not falling asleep until 11 most nights, sometimes even later than that, which would be fine on the weekend, but it's bleeding into the week as well, which is not great. So with that being said, I am going to get in bed and do a little reading before I fall asleep. I am working on Iron Flame. I finished Fourth Wing about a week and a half ago, maybe, and got Iron Flame on my phone. I am not able to get it through Libby just yet. There is a wait for it, but I was able to get it through another library app that I use with a different library card that I have. So I have been reading it, but I do also have the physical book. So I'm kind of like switching back and forth between the two and reading through that right now. So still very early on. I've only been reading it for about a week. So we're slowly making our way through, but I am enjoying it so far. So I do think I will be doing a video of like the books that I've read throughout 2025, either at the end of the year or beginning of 2026. So definitely keep an eye out for that, because I think I mentioned it already, but I've definitely surpassed my goal of 12 books this year. I think Iron Flame is book 18 of the year, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put right here the number of books that I have finished so far this year. But yeah, I definitely am going to be doing a video with all the books that I've read this year, so keep an eye out for that. But that being said, I am going to get in bed and do some reading and fall asleep, so hopefully I can be asleep a little bit earlier than later. As I said, it's about 10:15, obviously later than that now since I've been talking for a few minutes. So I'm not going to get to bed as early as I would like, but it's fine. We'll still hopefully be asleep by 11 o'clock. So I'm going to end the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed this day in my life. I feel like I didn't get as many clips as I would have liked to, but hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit more of a detailed day in my life instead of just the overall like week in my life video. If you want to see more of these, definitely let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe before you leave if you haven't already done so, and I will see you in the next video.